Okay, let's talk about the top stories. First, the Securities Commission of the Bahamas announced on Thursday night that it moved billions of dollars from FTX's Bahamian subsidiary into its own digital wallets for, quote, safekeeping. In this news release, the regulator said the funds are being held on a temporary basis until it's directed by the country's Supreme Court to deliver them to customers and creditors, or liquidators. The watchdog had previously confirmed it was holding some of FTX's digital assets, but did not specify how much. The regulator said that it transferred the funds the day after FTX filed for bankruptcy last month, following information from SBF concerning cyber attacks on the systems of the exchange's Bahamian unit. The commission noted that the funds were valued at more than $3.5 billion based on market pricing at the time of the transfer. Next, several FTX customers have asked a U.S. bankruptcy judge to keep their names confidential, arguing that exposing their identities could make them a target for scams. The customers, who are from outside the U.S. and say they're owed nearly $2 billion, made the request in a Wednesday night court filing. They also said that revealing their names could undermine FTX's efforts to sell parts of its business, which it's trying to do in order to make more money available for creditors. Typically, bankrupt companies reveal the names and amounts of debt held by their creditors. FTX is also seeking an exception that could keep its customers' names private. The request has been opposed by the Department of Justice's bankruptcy watchdog as well as some media outlets. The judge will hear arguments on customer privacy at a hearing in Delaware in a week and a half.
All right, everyone. As you can see by the previous video that you saw, that the Bahamas Securities Commission had obtained $3.5 billion of the FTX funds. So, but what happened before that, as you can see here, this article is from Twitter, and it is from the Securities Commission of the Bahamas, and it's basically saying, telling us the events, the timeline of the events that took place. As you can see here, Commission's regulatory actions taken after FTX collapse. And further down, it's basically saying that, they sent an email to Sam Bankman-Fried right here, based on the report by Yahoo Finance about the FTX exchange halts all crypto withdrawals. So this is the email that they sent to them, and at first they didn't get a reply back from Sam, but when he did reply, and this is what Sam had to say, Bankman-Fried answers. So upon review of the email and of my email inbox, I noticed an email message from Bankman-Fried addressed to Ryan, Attorney General of the Bahamas, sent by Sam Bankman-Fried at 9:27 p.m. All right, so we're not going to read all that. Here's what it says. This is from Sam. Hi, all. I'm really sorry about the delayed response here. Of course, he didn't reply right away. It's been a hectic week, but that's on me, myself, and Joe CC'd. We'll be responsive going forward, and I am also deeply sorry for ending up in this position in the first place. I'll give the answers I can give right now and try to get to the others ASAP. All right. Right now, we are focused on one thing, making customers whole. So as we can see in previous tweets, that Sam Bankman-Fried's, mindset, as you could say, is getting the customers their money back. As you can see here, as number one, he says in email, he's trying to make customers whole, right? But he should have not be using those funds in the first place and digging himself in the hole. But we are focusing exclusively on doing that this week. We are ceasing all non-essential operations. Beyond that, I am doing everything I can to try to do right by our customers, okay? I have not briefed the Securities Commission. I would be more than happy to have a phone call with you, the Prime Minister, and the Commission in the next few days to give a thorough overview of the situation. I am cautiously optimistic that we will be able to survive the turmoil and have enough liquidity for our customer withdrawals, and that is my sole focus this week. I will keep you guys updated. Okay, well, again, it seems like he has intentions of paying the customers their money back. Furthermore, we are investigating a more thorough answer to this question. We did not intend to, but are concerned that poor risk management led to a liquidity issue. Okay, and number 5, as you saw, Binance did not end up following through on their transaction. However, we are in the middle of a separate process to make users whole. Okay, we will let you know within a week if that comes through. So far, we have strong indication of interest that would be more than enough to cover all liquidity needs. Again, he's trying to give an expression. He's trying to let them know that, hey, his intentions are to pay back the money which was lost. We are working on confirming those. I am cautiously optimistic that we will be able to. Again, we are deeply grateful for what the Bahamas has done for us, has done for FTX, and deeply committed to it. We are also deeply sorry about this mess. Okay. As part of this, we have segregated funds for all Bahamian customers on FIX. So basically, he's saying that all Bahamian customers can get their money back, and we would be more than happy to open up withdrawals for all Bahamian customers on FIX, so that they can tomorrow fully withdraw all of their assets, making them fully whole. So is only all the Bahamians, and of course he got flack for that, because what about the American investors and all the other people that are outside the Bahamas and also outside of the U.S. So of course there was some backlash about that when that news came out. It's your call whether you want us to do so, but we are more than happy to, and would consider it the very least of our duty to the country, and can do it and can open it up immediately if you reply saying you want us to. Okay, all they have to do is just say, okay, go ahead and do it, and then all the Bahamian customers will have their money back. And we cannot hear back. If we cannot hear back from you, we are going to go ahead and do it tomorrow. Of the above mentioned email, the Commission took immediate steps to remove the authority of Bankman-Fried and other directors to operate FTX DM, which is digital markets, by initiating proceedings before the Supreme Court of the Bahamas as soon as possible for the appointment of a provisional liquidator. So it's basically saying that he was stopped from allowing the Bahamas customers from being able to withdraw the money. So I mean, I'm not Bahamian, but of course, I'm sure a lot of people in the Bahamas or probably upset with that, but it wouldn't have been fair if all of them would have been able to take their money out and the people that are in the U.S. and other countries would not be able to do so. But at the same time, we saw the news that the other day that, let's go back here, that it says they had recovered. So this is the letter from the press in the Bahamas. Is saying here, okay, as part of the above statement, the Commission filed with court. See, that's not that important. All right, so let's just go back to page 2. As indicated on the November 12th, 2022, media released that Securities Exchange addresses FTX statement of Bahamian withdrawals. Okay, the Commission did not in any way direct, authorize, or suggest to FTX DM the prioritization of withdrawals for Bahamian clients. So it's basically saying that we didn't tell you to do that. And matter of fact, the Bahamas did not want them to do that. The Commission. Okay, so let's go back to this one here. Next page. As a result, in the exercise of its regulatory powers, the Commission requested and obtained a court order to safeguard the digital assets owned by or under the custody or control of FTX DM or its principals by transferring them to secure digital assets under the exclusive control. Basically saying that accordingly on 12 November 2022, the Commission, in the exercise of its powers as regulatory regulator acting under the authority of an order made by the Supreme Court of the Bahamas, took the action of directing the transfer of all digital assets under the custody. As a result, in the exercise of its regulatory powers, the Commission requested and obtained a court order to safeguard the digital assets owned by or under the custody or control of FTX DM or its principals by transferring them to secure digital assets under the exclusive control the Commission. Okay, so basically saying that accordingly on 12 November 2022, the Commission, in the exercise of its powers as regulatory regulator acting under the authority of an order made by the Supreme Court of the Bahamas, took the action of directing the transfer of all digital assets under the custody or control of FTX, DM, or its principals, valued at more than $3.5 billion. So basically, it's telling you that November 12th that they took the money. All right, based on market pricing at the time of the transfer to the digital wallets controlled by the commission. So the Securities Commissioner of FTX of the Bahamas has these money for safekeeping. Okay. In order to promote the protection of securities and of the assets being held by the commission for the customers and creditors of FTX, the above steps were conducted under a sealing order requested by the commission and granted by the Supreme Court of the Bahamas on 16th November. Digital assets transferred on 12 November 2022 to digital assets under the exclusive control of the commission are being held by the commission on a temporary basis. That's what it says here, on a temporary basis, until such time as the Bahamas Supreme Court directs the commission to deliver them to the customers and creditors who own them.